one is direct variation. Tiffany has a babysitting business and is paid $10 per hour. The following table represents the amount of money Tiffany makes for different lengths of work. Okay, so if Tiffany babysits for 1 hour, how much does she make? $10. If she babysits for 2 hours, she makes $20. Okay, as the number of hours increases, what happens to the amount that Tiffany makes? It increases. We'll keep it simple, but yes, y'all are correct. Those of you who are giving me an even more detailed answer. But for now, we'll just put it increases. So as her hours increases, her pay increases. Okay? All right, in the first column means that, okay? What is y divided by x? So which one's your y value? All right, so 10, yep. So your y value is 10. What is your x value? 1. So what is 10 divided by 1? 10. Okay. In the second column, what is the value of y divided by x? Okay, so what's your y value? 20. What's your x value? 2. And 20 divided by 2 is 10. Okay. In every column, so if I did this every time, what would I get? 10. Okay. All right. This is an example of direct variation. Okay. The variables x and y vary directly for a constant k. This is your constant of variation. Okay. Sorry, I just put that in the wrong blank. K is called the constant of variation. Sorry about that. I should have put y equals kx in that first blank. I know, my brain's a little rusty too. Okay, sorry. K is your constant of variation. And then this is the formula. This is the formula for direct variation. Okay, that's the formula for direct variation. As x gets larger, y changes by a constant amount. What does it mean by constant amount? The same. Okay, it changes the same every time. As x gets smaller, y changes by a constant amount. So it's changing by the same. In this example, what was your constant amount? 10. Okay, she got paid $10 per hour. Okay, all right. Okay, now look at this. For direct variation, k equals y over x. Well, that's not the formula I just gave you. What's different about it?
K equals y over x.
Ah, so what did I have in this formula? What did it start with? Y. What did it start with this one? K. Okay? So they've just solved for a different variable. You used to do this in Math 1. If I wanted to get k by itself, what would I have to move? The x. How would you move the x? You would divide it, because these are being multiplied. So the opposite of multiply is divide. So that's all they did here. They got k by itself, and so they moved the x to the other side, y divided by x. It's just another way to write it. Okay? All right, example 1. The variable y varies directly with x when x is 4, y is 6. Find the constant of variation and then write the equation that relates y and x. What will the graph look like? Okay? All right, step 1. We've got directly. Your formula is y equals kx. Okay? So when you see direct variation, you're writing down y equals kx. Okay, that's the formula we'll use over and over. All right, they told you x was 4. So I'm plugging 4 in for x. What else do they tell you? Y is 6. Okay, so 6 goes in for y. And it says find the constant of variation. What letter is constant of variation? The K. Okay, so we've got to figure out what K is. How do I get K by itself? Divide by 4. You have calculators. Okay. 6 divided by 4. All right, so K is 1.5. Okay, so we found the constant of variation. Check. Done with that. It says then write the equation that relates y and x. Well, this is your equation. You just have to plug in the k value. So y equals, remember equations pretty much always start with that, y equals. Instead of writing k, you're going to plug in this number. What number is it? 1.5. And then you put your x back, okay? Put your x back in there. Okay, y equals 1.5x. That's it. Okay? All right. The graph, anybody know what the graph's going to look like? Like if you put that in y equals and pressed graph, what kind of graph would it give you? A linear one. Okay? It would give you a linear one. So in Math 1, y'all did this. What is your slope of the line? 1.5 is your slope. Okay? So this is your slope. You don't really need to know that, but I'm just reviewing it. That's your slope. What would be the y-intercept? 0. The y-intercept would be 0. Okay? All right. What you need to know is that the graph is linear. If you forget that, you can put this in your calculator or in Desmos. You'll have Desmos on your exam. Okay? And so the graph is linear. All right. All right. You've got one to try on your own. Yep, just do that one real quick. All right, if you're not done, that's fine. Y equals kx because of the word directly. They tell you y is 10. So make sure you're copying this down if you didn't have it. And x is 5. You just plug in the numbers they give you. Divide both sides by 5. And so what did you get for k? 2. Okay. Step 2 is just to write the equation. So you're plugging that back in. So y equals 2x. That's it. And the graph is linear. Okay, graph is linear. Good job, guys. Raise your hand if you got that one right. Very good. Okay, example 2, the variable y varies directly with x. When x is 3, y is 12. Find y when x is 2. So this one's going to have an extra step, okay? All right, so varies directly. What formula do I start with? Good, y equals kx. Do they tell me what y is? What's y? 12. And guys, you have 2 values of x, but which one goes with the 12? The 3, okay? The 3 goes with it, okay? All right, how do I get k by itself? Divide by 3, and so k equals 4, okay? All right, remember you plug 4 back in, so it's y equals, instead of k, I now know k is 4, and you put an x, okay? So that's step 2. I'm sorry, did I mess up? Yes, 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 I'm just not there yet, okay? Do you agree that, do you see where I'm getting this from? Okay. The one you did earlier, it asked for the graph. Is this one asking for the graph? No, it's saying find y when x equals 2. So y'all are already saying y'all know what to do. So x is now 2. So you're going to plug in 2 for x. So y equals 4 times 2. So y equals 8. That's it. Okay? So y equals 8. Okay? Okay, you have one to try, but let's skip that one for a minute. And I'm actually going to do this one together, okay? So guys, I'm skipping one of them and going to this one because this one's a little different. So we still have direct. So what's our formula for that? Good, y equals kx. What do they tell me to plug in for y? 4. And what do they tell me to plug in for x? 12. Okay? All right, to get k by itself, I divide both sides by 12. So what do you get for k? What? Okay, so you get 0.3 repeating. What do I always want you to do for repeating decimals? Make it a fraction. Math, enter, enter. So k is 1/3. Make sure you have that. I don't want 0.3. I would count that wrong. K is 1/3. Okay? All right. Plug that back in. Y equals, what do I put instead of k? 1/3. Okay? All right. And here's what's a little different about this one. Find x when what? Y equals 5. So the 5 goes in for y. The 5 goes in for the y. Okay? All right. What am I trying to find? X. I'm trying to find x, so I need to move the 1/3. 2 ways to do it. What's one way? Divide both sides by 1/3 or flip it. If you flip it, you do this on both sides. Okay? All right? And so those cancel. You can also divide both sides by 1/3. You get the same answer. Okay? Anybody got it? Yeah. 15. Okay?